Okay, so I've already got a dash cam for my car, and my wife and kids wanted one. And to them, they wanted the standard dash cam stuff, but they also wanted front and rear. So I came across this LifeChaser dash cam, high resolution. And as you can see, it says, so it's got a wide angle, so much wider, so narrow, how much it's recording. Loop recording, so like 3 minutes, it overwrites, do some photographs, records the sound, it's got a G sensor and as well as motion detection. Nothing else exciting on there, so let's go ahead and dive right in here. All right, I guess this is probably the rear facing camera. So on the side, you got the ability to tilt it, the USB connection, and then a little slide bracket for the mount point. It'd probably go in the back of your car like this, facing the rear, and then you can, adjust the angle. So we'll be looking to see how long the cable is to go back to the main camera, and then make sure I got a good connection point in the back of the car for that. So set that down. This will be the front-facing camera. Front-facing camera, again, so it's got the same kind of thing with the slide bracket mounts. Those are nice. And a big old camera that's adjustable, so after you get it up in the window, you can fine-tune it. Not sure if those are for sound or to let heat out. On the side, we've got power button, reset button, USB. This is probably for the connection for the back camera, and then this is probably for the power to power it all up. And on this side, a little bit of display, some buttons to go through settings and probably record things and format and do settings. And then that's where you're going to put the SD card. This does not come with the SD card, but the big thing is this thing supports a max of 128 and has to be class 10 or higher. I think in my other camera, I've got a 32 gig in there, and it's been plenty for me. So I picked up, just a 32 gig class 10 card for right now. We'll need a bigger one, we can do that later. So rear, front. And we got these for, I'm not sure if they're for cleaning surfaces, for stickers, but we'll figure that out later what those are. And just a note, basically how to get hold of them for support. There's the 128 gig, class 10 or higher, no card included. Insert the card, format it. It's got screensaver, record button, mic button. Please stick the 3M sticker to the static, the windshield. Much easier to remove. Oh, okay, so I'll probably do that to that. So you probably, I think what they're saying is put these on the window first, and then attach the mount to this. So this is easier to remove than the other one. I don't know. Looks like there's a Roadcam app up on the Apple and Google Play Store. Otherwise, you can use the window stuff. All right, what do we got down here? Okay, here we go. These are the brackets. These are the brackets to hang the cameras. It's probably an extra two-sided. Yeah, see, it comes with one already on it. And if for some reason, maybe you need to replace it, they give you a second one. And then again, to talk about the slide, that's gonna slide in to here. So when you've got this mounted on the car, you can kind of click it, lock it in place. So that's the rear. This could be the front, and again with a sticker on it already. And then the slide mounts, and then an additional sticker, which is nice. Good old power. So this can be the power for the front camera. Probably powers the rear as well through the front. So once you power the front, and you got the cable going from the front camera to the rear camera, it'll power the rear. Looks like it's long. I don't know what the exact measurements are at this point. This might be for hooking it up to your computer. It's a pretty short cable. Just probably for doing some firmware updates or something, not sure. And there we go, the long cable. This is the one that goes from the front to the rear. So the rear Takes a connection like this. So nice bent angle one, which is nice. And then the other end is going to plug into, that's power. So it's probably going to plug into this one. So the end result will be something like that. Let's see what else we got here. So the instruction book talks about the resolution. So 1080 at 30 frames. 30 frames is not awesome, but I think it's good. I'm not sure if this is the dual or the single. The single lens will do 1080 and 60 frames, which is nice. The rear is 1080 30. Then it's got Wi-Fi, GPS. Then talks about all the different buttons and what they do, but we're not going to go into all that stuff now. Installing it. I mean, it looks like they've got instructions here, how accurate they are. You know, we'll find out. So 2-inch LCD, video resolution, H.264 for the video format, mic and speaker built in, loop recording, or you have loop recording off, 1, 3, or 5 minutes. I typically do 3 minutes on my other one, seems to be fine. GPS supports it, built-in is optional. I don't remember if I got the GPS on this one or not. I don't remember. The Wi-Fi and backup super capacitor. So that's kind of the next thing people want, is a super capacitor. They say with the old regular rechargeable batteries, there's a potential problem with those overheating, and super capacitors will store up the power, and it can be in the direct sunlight much better than you know, the old rechargeable battery kinds. Well, that's it. My next goal is I'm going to do a dry install of this just to make sure everything works, and then figure out running this to the back. I also got to figure out from a standpoint of where I'm going to mount this bracket in the rear. The goal is to, you know, have the camera facing out in the back window. Almost dropped it. And let's see. So that's about the extent. So it's going to limit, you know, from pretty low to a high mount. So I don't know. We'll see how that works in the rear. And then the front's just pretty straightforward. You know, you're going to mount it to wherever it needs to be. So, you know, it's going to be, if you're facing it from the inside of the car, you'll see that. And then from the outside, you know, you'll be able to adjust the lens. You know, maybe because of the rear view mirror, or a lot of us have this big electronic boxes now up in the front windshield. So pretty excited. We'll see how this goes, and I'll post another video.